This is a scientific technology that many netizens find confusing. When the car engine ignites, the voltage of the ignition component is as high as 20,000 volts. However, the car battery is only 12 volts. So where does this dizzying 20,000 volt voltage come from? What is the mystery behind it? Next, let's go explore it. The engine ignition system is also called the spark plug. In fact, it is not that the spark plug has any magical function, and just by relying on toys. It is also impossible to convert the 12-volt voltage into a high voltage of 20,000 volts. So where does the spark plug get its 20,000 volt voltage? In fact, it is all thanks to another component in the car, the ignition coil. Its job is to convert the 12-volt voltage from the battery into a high voltage of 10,000 volts. How does it do that? It's very simple. There is an iron core in the middle of the coil. The primary coil is first wound around the iron core to 100 to 300 turns. Initially, the voltage provided by the battery to the primary coil is 12 volts. The reason why it can convert the 12-volt voltage into a high voltage of 10,000 volts, the core is that there are two functions here to amplify the voltage. One is through the cooperation of capacitors and contact breakers. Amplify the 12-volt voltage of the primary coil to 300 volts. The second, there's also a secondary coil in the middle of the primary coil. The number of turns of the secondary coil is about 21,000 turns. He will amplify the voltage again. Here, some friends may not understand. It doesn't matter. Let's look at a simple physical formula. The number of turns of the primary coil is in 1 in 300 turns. The number of turns of the exciting coil is in 221,000 turns. The voltage V1 of the primary coil, the corresponding voltage is 300 volts. So what is the voltage V2 of the exciting coil? According to the principle of the transformer in physics and electricity, when an alternating current is applied to the initial limit circle, the iron core of the transformer will generate a variable magnetic field, and the secondary limit circle will generate induction. The ratio of the number of turns of the coils of the electric transformer is equal to the voltage ratio. So here the voltage V2 of the exciting coil, in fact, it is equal to the number of turns of his coil 21,000 turns. That is 21,000 volts, just like that. The ignition coil will convert the 12-volt voltage from the battery, raised to 21,000 volts. Then send this voltage to the spark plug located on the top of the cylinder. Finally, complete the ignition work of the cylinder. This is the secret of how the spark plug generates a high voltage discharge of tens of thousands of volts.